how we try to optimize our workflows. And we want to do a bit of a comparison for those of you who might not be aware of how does the AR and VR guidance aspect of this visualization field compare to the 3D printing, direct comparisons here. Next one, Chris. This is just a little bit about our lab. We've been around since 1996. So I think in a couple of days, they'll finish the 27th year and start our 28th year of its existence. And I've been there for about half of that time, and Chris has been there for about a third of that time. In terms of 3D printing, we started in 2014 and we finished about 2,000 prints. Most of them are anatomic prints showing the relationship of structures. We don't get that much into this, anything that would touch the body during surgery or anything like that. But beyond 3D printing, we provide about 150 other 3D type services for advanced visualization and tumor response assessment. And we use lots of different software, lots of different printers, and we have lots of people with lots of experience. Next. Here's a little bit about the kind of services we offer. You can see we have some 3D printing, the tumor response. We do a lot of treatment planning. That one's a NESBAR procedure kind of graphic that we showed, but a lot of our treatment planning is involved with valves in the heart and helping people size things and figure out which pathway they can take to deploy valves. But the bread and butter of our operation is just advanced visualization in general and sending that images back to the medical information system like a PACS. And more recently, we've gotten involved with clinical AI, and that's what's been keeping me busy. And at the same time, they've asked us to expand into the AR and VR space and support surgeons directly with AR, VR, surgical guidance, and consenting patients and whatnot. And I'm not an expert at talking about that, and that's why I've asked Chris to come here to show you all the amazing things that he's been doing with his team on integrating that into our workflows.
Thanks, Shannon. And thanks, Jenny, again for having us. So as we're discussing 3D printing, it feels natural to at least mention extended reality due to the many similarities between the two. While each has strengths and weaknesses in different areas, both have valuable roles in patient care. Of the many similarities between 3D printing and extended reality, the most significant similarity is the very first step that you have to make in both workflows, which is segmentation. Regardless of what software and tools you choose, some kind of segmentation is required to extract the structures of interest from the scan. Here are just a few of the very many segmentation methods that are available. There's freehand ROI on the upper left-hand corner. There's threshold in the upper right-hand corner, region grow in the lower left, and mask operations in the lower right. I thought to include automatic segmentation here, but it's just not as fun to look at. So that's why it's not here. Once the structures are extracted and saved as an STL, OBJ, or some other similar file type, it can be represented by visually different physical materials layered in a 3D print or visually different digital objects layered in extended reality software. The ability to layer objects in both modalities provides an optimized display of a patient's medical imaging, allowing for comparison of different structures, the same structure over time, or different structures from different imaging modalities. On the left is a 3D print we created for abdominal reconstruction. It includes vasculature, abdominal wall, rectus, muscles, calcifications, and intercostal nerves. On the right is a digital model we created for one of our neurosurgeons in extended reality software. It includes brain surface from MR, functional areas and fiber tracks from fMRI, and vasculature from CT. Both modalities can also be useful in the OR for helping surgeons quickly reference location and relationship of structures. On the left is a photo of an extended reality model we created, integrated with a surgical navigation system for intraoperative use. While the surgical navigation system has only the MR selected, the extended reality model that you can see in the lower right-hand corner of the screen includes MR for tumor visualization that has also been segmented in green, and CT for vascular and bony anatomy visualization. On the right is a 3D print we created for resection of a paraspinal tumor, marked up by the surgeons in the OR. You can see here the annotated vertebra, 12th rib, and planned resection boundaries. Now, onto the differences between 3D printing and extended reality. One strength of extended reality is the increased utility of segmentation, meaning that you can do more with your segmented objects, like adjusting opacities and visibility to better understand the relationship between specific objects in the absence of others. In this example, parts of the skull were removed and made semi-transparent to better visualize internal structures. Bone anatomy and vasculature are then completely removed to focus on the cavernous malformation and fiber tracts. Finally, brain tissue from the MR is brought in to better visualize the location of the cav-mal and fiber tracts. In comparison, 3D printed models can only exist in the form that they are printed. You can print multiple versions of the same thing, but that takes a little bit more time, which I'll get into later. Certain extended reality technologies can also integrate with systems in the OR, as I mentioned a little earlier. In this example, the extended reality system is integrated with the surgical navigation